Okay.
Sir, Shiva sir.
சொல்லுப்பா.
One more people நம்ம ஆபீஸ்ல இன்னொரு ஆட் பண்ணிருக்கேன்.
சரிப்பா சரி.
ஓகே.
சரிப்பா சரிப்பா ஓகேப்பா. We'll just start. Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone. So what we are going to see, it's actually a mobile application development. So we are going to do in a Flutter and Dart. So we'll see. This is just an introduction to the Flutter and Dart. So from here, how to take it forward? So I can guide you how to move forward and all. This is just an introduction session. Okay. So let's. I'm going to slide number 2 now. So first, we need to see what actually is a Dart. Okay. So everyone, people, you may hear the Flutter is a mobile application development. So in the background, the this Dart actually it's working actually. So you can hear how the mobile application has been started, right? So we can have a lot of mobile OSs there. Like we have Android OS, we have iOS, and then we have Windows also. We are having a Windows. So in some time back, we can see in Linux type of mobiles also came. So this Android is based on Linux, but it's purely a thing. But how internally it's working? So it's internally there is some APK will be developed and deployed into the mobile application. So from there it will work. Okay, in early stages, how this mobile application has been developed, so they will be using the Android Studio. Okay, in Android application, they will be using Android Studio. Through this Android Studio, Java will be the core language. Through Java, they will develop the application, and they will convert into through Android Studio, they will convert into a IPK file. Then they will deploy into the mobile application. So if you go for iOS, they will use a shift code. Shift is it's kind of a language that they will be using. There are Cocoa framework is that. So through that framework, so they will develop an iOS application. Then they will deploy it to the iOS platform. So what Google discovered, so they wanted to have a language. So they wanted to develop a language that should support any kind of a platform. So they wanted to have a single code base, and then if you need to develop an application that has to deploy in the single code base has to be deployed in any platform that should work. So that is Google's idea. From there, what they discovered, so there is a language called Dart. So they have created a new language. It's actually a Dart. So it's actually a SDK. Dart is like Java. It's an SDK. So we need to this SDK will be it has a virtual machine. Dart will have a virtual machine that will talk to the front end of the Flutter, and it will generate. It will run as a program. So that way it will work. So when you go to the next slide, you will get to know how actually it is. Okay, so it will work as a server. It will also work as a browser. So when you say it's a server and a browser, you will see it's related to web. So a Dart can in single code base, you can convert that application to web also. So what are the possibilities? One code base, so you can develop an application Android, also in iOS, also in web, also in Windows application, also in a Mac OS, also for the Unix based Windows application. So any application you can develop through this Dart actually. Dart, so you have to make it a Dart and Flutter, two all different SDKs. So we are going to combine that, then the application will be built like that. So this is the just a high level introduction about how the mobile application has came, and how this new Dart programming language has been identified by the Google. Okay, so this is a Dart. So any clarifications, or can we move forward? So,
Okay, sir.
yeah. So this is
Okay, Shiva, one doubt. How different is this Dart with the Flutter is from the earlier model of using the Android Studio, etc.?
Yeah, so I can, that's what I'm telling you. So in the following slide, you will see Dart and Flutter is not a different thing, both are same. So it will be, this both will be, actually Flutter will be, you can see a Flutter in a front end, you'll write a code in a Flutter, but it will talk to Dart and it will execute. You'll see a diagram that will clearly explain you. Okay, you will write a language called Dart, but in whole you'll say it's a Flutter.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you got it. So the scripting language is called Dart. So like JavaScript or something. So you will create a web page, right? So you, for example, you'll create a web page. So you'll write a you will for example, when you create a web page in ASP.NET, so you will say it's an ASP.NET page, but in backend you will write a code in a VB.NET or a C#.NET. Correct. So you will write a code in some VB or something, but you will say it's a ASP page like that. So in build, what actually the scripting language that is used in for the Flutter is Dart. Clear?
Yes, yes, very much. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the so first you need to know how to do a scripting in Dart. Then only you can go to the Flutter. So for that we should know something something about Dart. What actually is Dart and how to do that. So there is a scripting Dart pad is there. So you can clicking here. If you have the slide, you can from clicking the slide you can go there. Otherwise, you can see you can get into this web link. You can .pad.lang.org. Okay. So you want to ping this. I'm going to open this. And send message here, right? I have sent a chat. Okay. So this is a Dart pad actually. See here you can practice yourself to in a Dart language. This is nothing but a C language. C kind of a C language, not a C. C and C++ mixing of the thing is a Dart. Okay. So here you can see, right. So that is a code. It's a sample code, right. It's a void main. It's a kind of a C, and there is a for loop is there, and they are printing. Printf we will use here. It says print. Okay, print, and so normally you can use single quotes or double quotes for the string. So here they have used a single quotes. What they have done, $I plus 1. So what it says, dollar means it will take the value of the expression. So here hello, and I plus 1 is 1. So when I run here in console, you can see the result. Okay. So this is a Dart pad. So this is actually if you want to practice yourself on a Dart, so you can use this Dart pad actually. So you have plenty of examples also there. See if I want to use how to use int to double. So you can see the example. So you can also write your own code. Okay, so if I want to change, I want to make this as 15. You can change it. You run it, accordingly the result will come. Okay, you can write your own program. You can check. So your thing. So that is the thing. So this is all the C++ things that will be applied to this Dart. For example, you can use in the inheritance. Other functionalities will be used here. There are new things are there. So we have a special data types are there. That we will see sometime later. So that is maps list that are all there. So there are the very powerful data types. So you see structure, right? Structure and other data types. These are the other advanced data types in the Dart we will be using. So other concepts like inheritance and everything will be same as C++. Okay, it's just a C++ kind of a language. Okay, so you can go through this and you can see the examples. Okay, so then you can play around with this. So you can, okay, so you can learn your Dart language via this Dart pad. Then it will be easy for you to go to the Flutter language. So you can run a simple code. You can run a simple code and how it does work. You can check here. Then you can go and implement into the Flutter. Okay, this is a basic of a Dart. Okay, clear? This is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So next, so as I told you, only with this Dart we can't do anything, right? The Dart will be a scripting language, so that we can write some code into it. But if you want to get into a platform, we need another SDK. That is the SDK. It's called as Flutter. Okay, 1 minute. I have here some noise. Can you please go on mute, someone? Someone is not talking. I think I can do that. Right. Okay. I think Deepa and Nattu also joined. Okay.
Hi,
Okay.
Shiva.
Yeah, hi Deepa. Okay, so what we are going to see, what is a Flutter? Okay, for Flutter, Flutter is a SDK, same kind of a thing. So it's a different SDK. So it inside Dart it will work. Okay, so this Flutter is going to work actually. So the Dart script we are doing, this Flutter in front end, it will do the coding and it will execute. It will talk to the Dart and other inside the at which will using the Dart VM, it will talk to the system and it will get the communicate to the all other components of the OS. So like it will work. Okay. So what actually it is Flutter? Flutter is a UI toolkit actually. So normally in our when you are developing an application in Android Studio, right? So what will happen? So if you want to give a glassy look of a button, you have to import some other libraries, and then you have to develop your own image, and then you need to input into the your code. So for example, when you want to write a program for WhatsApp kind of a chat application, at least you would need 3 to 4 months to develop in a using Android Studio, and if you are using Java or Kotlin. Kotlin is the other language that is developed by Google specifically to the Android application. Okay, so but when you are developing in Flutter, you can within 2 or 3 days you can complete the entire application, because all the UI related components are already inbuilt with the Flutter. You just need to plug and play, and you need to use it. So that is the beauty of a Flutter actually. So also this is a single code. So when you see, it's a single code base. So whenever it's single code base, so you can use it for a mobile or web or desktop application also you can use it. So what it means, you will write a code once, and when you give a parameter to iOS, it automatically runs as a iOS. So when you give it as a web, it will automatically run as a web. So like that it will work. Okay, so what this will reduce the lot of time for the developer, also the to the delivery end it will reduce lot of time. Okay, so that is the main power of a Flutter actually. So here you have a single code base, you can do a fast development. And so how many of you know about reactive? So React.js, heard about that, right? This is a same kind of a language. Yeah, React.js is used for the mobile application development, web application also it is. So the base concept of the React JS is actually uh, uh, running in a JavaScript in a server. That is the very big challenge. So when you go for a JavaScript, that will be used only in the client side. So why we need to use a JavaScript in a server side actually? So because JavaScript is a powerful language that will that has a excellent UI based components are there. Also, it will do fast communication to the system. So like that. So you have a lot of things in the JavaScript. So to successfully run the JavaScript in the server side, so the React JS will be used. So this is a modern reactive actually. So in React JS, you use only JavaScript, but in here in React, in this React, you will use a Dart actually. So that is the difference between this here, this Dart and the React JS. Okay, this has a STK is a non-native features. What does this native features access mean? So we have Android application. Android it have their own button style like checkbox style and other styles will be their own model. But iOS having their own style. For example, iOS will not have a back button, right? So you have to use some gesture and you need to give a back button. So like that. So there's a native feature of the iOS. And when you go to the Windows application, it has a different window. It has a close button, maximize, minimize buttons are there. But so like that, so it has a native features of the particular applications there. So this Flutter automatically does the native features to the applications. So that is the beauty of the Flutter. Okay, so that is the one of the things. So this is the features of the Flutter. The next thing, what are the key concepts inside the Flutter is one is the state management. So we have a state management. State management means, for example, you want to refresh a page whenever there is a data change inside the application. So what you need to enter the entire page. You need to refresh it. And normally that will do, right? So we have some advanced concepts in .NET and all. We can only refresh a particular page, part of the page. We can do that. Like that session, there's a Flutter also having a advanced state management is there. So we can create a application with the stateless widgets and stateful widgets. So that we will see some examples now. So there are state management, this is a well managed state management it's there. So it will be having a lot of features are there. Okay, that is one of the key concepts. So other one is we can do the HTTP request. We can do that. There are a lot of concepts are there. I'm just giving us a few only. So we can, what this actually means. So you can see a few of the applications that directly connected to the website. You can see an example for Flipkart. So in Flipkart, when you open a Flipkart, so you will see a product or listing out, right? So whenever you click a product, like if I click a shirt, the shirt picture will be displayed there, but the picture is stored in a web server. From there, it will come and it show here. So it can do a HTTP request and get the data and it can display in your device, any of the device. Okay, so that is, it can have a HTTP request. You can manage it. Also, we can have the cloud integration with Firebase, Google Cloud, and AWS. Any of the cloud we can integrate it. So I have developed an application in Firebase to do a chatting kind of application. Also Firebase is a very powerful cloud that is managed by Google. So you can do authentication, you can have secure file storage, you can have the database, secure storage also, database also we can have in Firebase. So also we can specific to, there are few components that is specific to Google Cloud. Also we can have AWS as a authentication, everything we can use it. So we can do any cloud we can integrate with the Flutter. So there are specific libraries are there. You just need to import and we can easily you can use it. So on the fly you can do it. So anyone tell me, I just wanted to ask you, what is hot reloading? Have you heard about this hot reloading?
Yeah, hard reloading is like you don't need to restart your instance. On the fly, you just install it.
Exactly, exactly. So whenever you are doing a development, so you are middle of things, so you want to you want to add something into your code. Immediately when you give save the application, automatically it will reflect. Immediately it will reflect. So this has a feature of a hard reloading. Whenever when you go with the Android Studio, you need to when you want to make a change, you need to make a changes. You need to refresh the application. So it will take some time to build and the things. So immediately it will go and reflect the results. So that is the future we are having in this platform. Okay, so this is clear, right? This slide. So can we move on to next?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the layer of cakes and Flutter. Okay. So how this Flutter will work? So it has a different layers of that. In the first layer, we are having a material and Cupertino. This this material Cupertino will be this only is shown to the user. Whatever the user is showing in the seeing in the application, that will be as a material and Cupertino. This material is common for iOS and as well as an Android. So it will work. So material, it's nothing but it's a layout. It's a layout that is shown into the application. Okay. So this Cupertino is specifically for iOS devices. So whenever you import a Cupertino library, so you will be using a you can use a when you import Cupertino and you are telling it's a button, the output of the button will be like an iOS button. So it has a native feature. So like that it will work. So this is the material. First layer is a material, and then below that there is a widget. So we are going to see in the next slide what is actually a widget. Okay, widget is nothing but whatever you see into the Flutter is called a widget. That's it. Okay, so when I say it's a material or a Cupertino, it's also a widget. So everything is a widget. So when you say it's a button, it's a widget. Okay, so whatever it is, it's called a widget. So all other things comes under next layer, and the next layer you will have the rendering part. So how this widgets and this layouts will be to be combined. That will be decided in this rendering layer actually. So it will mix in and it show as a show to the user. Okay, so and then how to that means the animation and painting gestures are how to interact with the user. For example, gesture is nothing but when you click on the object. So when you click on the object, what we need to do? So how to animate it, how to paint it, how to display it, kind of a thing is that's the other layer. So next is a foundation layer. From this foundation layer, this will talk to the engine. So through that, this embedded will be talked. So there are a lot of things inside the foundation engine layer. I don't want to get into that because it's purely a C and C++ language. It will run, so that will not shown to us actually. We will not see that actually. Okay, so and then so in embedded it will show it will define to a what you can say it's an iOS style or a Android style or the Windows application or is it a Linux application or the Mac OS. It will automatically take it up and it will work. So internally it will work. Okay, so this is the layer how the Flutter framework will be there. Now you got it correct, Sridhar, how the Flutter and Dart is being combined and it's internally it's working. You got it right?
Yes, sir. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is clear, right? So before I move to next one. Okay. So as I said, in Flutter, everything is a widget. So widget is nothing but it's a building block actually. So what you can say it's a building block. So it's a different blocks inside the Flutter will be having. You need to pick a block and you need to set it into your application to make it happen. That's it. So that is a widget. So widget, for example, I told you, right? So we have a state in the Flutter. So we will be this widget. When you say this widget is a layout, so within the layout, I'm having a stateful widget and stateless widget. Stateless widget. So you are just displaying something to the user. There is no nothing. There is no update. User is not interacting with the application. We will have some applications kind of a thing. Okay, so all the applications will be stateless widgets. For example, when I when I touch that particular component, it will show some image. That's it. So there is nothing internally it is managed. So when I go to stateful widget, so I'm using a database. So I want to update something. When I click on the particular status, so automatically it should update the other component of the page. So that time you need to use a stateful widget. I'll show you some examples how I've developed the application. I'll show you that how the stateful and status where actually it is. So I'll show you. Okay. So this is the basic of the widget. Okay. So you can see the button and menu, structural widget. Okay, stylist, font and color schemes, lot of things. So when you go use for the padding, that means padding means a layouting. So when you want to see give some spaces kind of a thing, you have to use a padding. It's a lot of things are there. So we have a row and column widget is there, container widget is there. So we have a lot of widgets are there. So it's when you go to get into the Flutter website, there is plenty of widgets are there. You can go through that. So they will guide you. The examples are there. You can try out in the same web page also, and then you can take it up and based on your requirement, you can use it in your application. Okay, so this is a widget. Okay, so So what is we saw what is Dart and what is Flutter, and in Flutter what is a widget. We saw that. So now, so what we are going to do, I'm going to tell you how to install this Flutter into your system. Also, we will see some demo. Okay, so how to create a application in a Flutter, and we'll see that. Okay, so before that, you should know what are the basic requirements required when you want to develop an application using a Flutter and Dart. Okay, so you should have at least hopefully everyone having Windows 10, but I can see it's Windows 7 is the minimum. Okay. Also, we should need these basic things, but it's JIT and PowerShell is not required. So we can have the command prompt. It's enough. Okay, so you can have a hands-on. So if you want to install this now, you can do that. If anyone need any help, I can help you out. Okay, so you want to do any installation now, or you can do it later also, or I'll give a demo. How you want to go?
No, you give the demo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Shiva, you can give a demo first.
Yeah. So before that, what are the tools required for the development? These are the tools these are basic tools we would require to start the development. So first is we would require a Visual Studio Code, and then we need a Flutter and Dart SDK that needs to be installed. Okay, so and then we would need a Android Studio 4.0. Okay, so then now I'll tell you how to install this Flutter. It has some steps. If you want to install this VS Code, you can do that. So you just open that link. So you just need to download the Windows based Visual Studio. We have Visual Studio in different versions. Linux versions also there. Mac OS versions also there. So you can install this. Then it's easy. It's just step-by-step procedure. You can install the Visual Studio. But so also you can install Android Studio 4. Also, it's easy. Just step-by-step procedure. Next, it will automatically install. But installing Flutter, it has some steps. So you should follow them, and only you can have a successful installation. That I will tell you how to do that. Okay. So first, you need to download this. This you when you click on that, you might have a latest one. So this is the link that you need to go to download Flutter and Dart. It's a single package, so you just need to download it. Okay. Yeah. So you just want to download this package from here. Okay. Then or you just download and extract into some of the folders. Okay. So I can show you. I have installed in development Flutter. So this is the folder. Here I've extracted all the Flutter zip files, right, inside this folder. So this is how you just need to install. Then we would need some other way to install. If you have a JIT access, you just need to give JIT clone this command into your command prompt. Then you can download the latest version of the Flutter. So if it's preferably using JIT. What it will give you the from the core, it will give the latest version. So when you go with JIT, it will give the latest version of a stable stable version. This is the way you can install the Flutter. Once you have installed it, okay, you have installed it, then you need to set up the environment part. See, so you update where you have installed the Flutter. So you have to set up the environment in the environment variables. Here when you go there, so we'll be having environment variables. That path will be there. In that path, so I can edit. You can see I have added this decoller development Flutter. So I have added this screenshot in the PPT. If you are trying to do, you can refer that. Okay, you have to add that path. Once you have added that path, then what need you to do? You need to check whether all the required things are available. I told you we would require Visual Studio, correct? And then we would require the Android Studio. And then when you install the Android Studio, this Android toolchain automatically it will be installed. And we have installed the Flutter channel. The path you will search for the latest version of Flutter. Okay, so these are the things. These are the basic things that we need to verify. How to verify this? So for this, once we have extracted all the files into the specific folder, and then you have made the environment part. So then we have to go to run cmd. Then you have to run this command Flutter doctor-v. For this, while running this, you will get some errors. For example, if you have not installed Java, Java is required for the Android development, right? So internally it will create the thing. So it will work. So here it will give all the ticks as green. You are good to go. Clear? So now you can start the development. At this point, clear, right? Any doubts or clarifications?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's clear.
Okay. So when you this point, okay. So now we are going to start the development. For this, what I'll tell you how to start a Hello World program in Flutter. Okay. So I have already installed this Visual Studio. This part I need to tell you what actually is this. Okay. This is the emulator. Okay. So in the screen I'll tell you. PPT. So okay. This is emulator. Okay. So what is this emulator and how to start this? So when you install Android Studio, so you will have the AVD manager. I'll tell you how to open this. Okay. Also, I'll tell you how to create this also. Okay. This is why we need this Android Studio. So to creating a emulator, we would require. In tools, that is a AVD manager, Android Virtual Device Manager. Okay, so I have added a new device right here. So if you want to create a device, so you need to click on create virtual device. Then you need to specify what kind of a device you want. You can specify the resolution and density, whatever you want, and click on next. And then you need to what version of Android you want. if it is an x86 or other means, you will have the other AMD processor also there. So what version, 5 or different versions of Android we will be having, right? So Android 9, 10, 11 going to come. So whatever version you want to, you can download. This 5 is already downloaded, and I have also downloaded the Nougat also. Okay, 7. Then next, then you need to give some. Then just click on finish. So this is what I have created here. Already I have an instance of this. So I've named it as Shiva AVD. Okay. So this is the instance I have created here. Okay, I have created this in Android Studio. Okay, now our AVD is ready. So next, I just open the Visual Studio Code. From here, how to create a new project? First, once you have installed the Visual Studio Code, you also need to install the extension, Visual Studio extensions. This is a Dart extension. So Flutter extension you need to create. So when you go and it's already installed. Okay, let me. So it says that. So when you click on install, it just download the extension. It will get it ready. Okay, Flutter and Dart extension is required. Okay, these are two extensions. So you need to install before you start programming in Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is Visual Studio Code, not a Visual Studio. This is Visual Studio Code. Okay, so how to create a new project? So whenever we open a Visual Studio Code, so you need to give Control-Shift-P. This will give a menu. From here, what you need to do? There is a Flutter new project is there. You need to select a new project. Then it will ask for the name. So what I am telling? Hello. First, app. Okay, I'm giving it as a first app, and then so it will ask for the path where you want to store this application. I'm just giving I'm selecting a path. So once you have selected, it will start creating. So you can see the here, right? So iOS language shift, Android language Java. So for Android, it will create as a Java project. For iOS, it will create as a Shift project. Currently, Flutter is available for iOS and Android, so it's working good. It's other are all in testing mode. Okay, so Windows application is in a testing mode, and Mac OS in a testing mode. Linux based Windows application also in a testing mode. It's not the we haven't received the full version of Flutter for others, but all in a testing mode we can do that. Okay, okay, let me close this window. This is our new application. So whenever I've created with this, everything is automatically you'll get these things. Okay. So what I'm going to, I'm just going to run this application. We have created application. I'm going to run this application. Okay. First, I will run this application. Then I'll explain you what are the folders and how the things, which is an important thing, and I'll show you. Okay. First, how to run this application in a Visual Studio Code? You have a option run with debugging. So before running, let me run what actually it's asking for the device, right? So this device it should be created before. If we don't have an Android device, it will not. It will say you need to create a device. That's why we need to install Android Studio and you have to create an IVD. So I'm selecting this Shiva IVD. It will automatically start your device emulator. It's Android emulator, and it will launch our application in the emulator. You can use your real device also. If you have connected your real device, that means if you have connected your Android phone into your laptop, so it will automatically detect. When you see here, we have a Shiva AVD, right? So one device. If I connect my Android phone, it automatically says two devices will be there. You can select that particular device and then you can execute it. Okay, it's just compiling. It will take some time. few minutes to come. But when you compile in Android Studio, minimum it will take 20 to 30 minutes. So in good configuration, but Flutter will take very less time. So also this is a one time, it will take a compilation time. After that, it will just less like that you can deploy your application. So while talking itself, I think it's been build is completed, and it's installing this application into the in your emulator. Okay. So our application is opening now. Yeah, our application is done. This is our application. This is an empty application that Flutter is giving you. It's a demo application. Okay. So what it says, what and all it has. I'm just giving a. Well, this is a title bar. This is app bar. This is same tell it as app bar, and this is a scaffold widget. So widget means it's a page. It's coming as a scaffold widget. So there is a floating action button. This is called the floating action button. So when you click this button, the count will be increased. Okay, so this is a basic application that we have. It's provided with Flutter. So I'm trying to do how this hard reload is working. Okay, so I'm going to change the before that. Okay, I'm going. Let me change the name of first. First app. Whenever I press Control S, same is automatically name has been changed. See here. So this is the hard reload. So you don't need to wait, stop and wait, recompile. So at the spot you can do a development. So that is exactly okay. So in this point it's clear, right? So I'll explain you what are the folders are there in the Flutter and what are the important things. Can you move on? Okay. So here. There are different folders are there. Okay, so there are multiple files auto generated. So we'll see these tool idea and is used by the Flutter VM. Okay, this will talk to the dot and it will create a application. So it will be using. Okay, here this Android folder, it's full of Android files. Okay, so this is the Android program that will talk to our Flutter and it will create an APK file. APK means an Android file. Okay, so we'll having a Gradle.properties, Gradle.is and all the Android related file. It's not advisable to touch these files because it is generated by the system. Whenever you change it, so slight changes will be happening to that. So when you go to the advanced level, you can do the native. You can create your native Java code. You can call that native Java code into a Flutter. So that's an advanced stage. Okay. So that is a thing. So this is Android folder. So when you click on iOS, so you will have the iOS related files will be there. When you run your application on iOS, this section will automatically pick it up and then it will build to this folder. The build is nothing but what is that? It will create a APK or iOS files. It will be here. From here only it will pick it up and it will transfer to the device. Here you can see the app.debug.apk, right? This is the file which is being transferred to this device and it's working. Okay, this is the build folder. And then library folder. This is the key folder that you need to you will be working on. So all the development of the Flutter will be here only. This is the main dot. So this main dot is the starting point of your program. Okay, so this main will start your program. What it actually is. So I told you it's a same kind of a C++, right? So it will call the class, actually run app, my app. This my app is a class. It just call this my app and from here it will work. Okay, I told you there is a stateless widget and stateful widgets are there. Okay, so there are some advanced things as well. I'll just tell you how this things. Okay, so we can have multiple Dart file inside this. Then you can import into your main file. Then you can work on that. Okay, this is the main folder. Entire Flutter related codes will be available. That is a library folder. So test, you can ignore this test now. So we will not be using. Okay, so whenever you go for a testing thing, then you will use this. Right? So others are not much used. The only file that is used, that is pubspec.yaml. This is the key file actually. So hope you are everyone know about the YAML file. The YAML is just a configuration file. So if you want to use any of the additional libraries into your application, you need to include into this pubspec YAML. Then you can import that library into your folder. Sorry, in your application. Okay. So this is the pubspec YAML. So mostly we will use this dependencies, app dependencies. Here only we will include our additional libraries. For example, if you want to use a Firebase database, you have to import the Firebase database. So you have to add the Firebase database library here. Then when you click on save, it automatically download the Firebase related libraries. Then you can start using into your application. Okay, I'll show you some example how to do this. Cupertino defaultly added because we have iOS packages enabled. Also, if you want to use any other images and sound or assets, any other assets like fonts, so you can configure here. From here, you can take it up to your application. This is kind of a global file kind of a thing. You can from here, you can take it up to the application. You can. Okay, so this is the YAML file. This point all clear, right? I can show you some examples what I have done. Can you go there?
Yes, yes, Shiva.
Yeah, I'll just open some of the things what I have done. These are the things while learning I have developed these applications. Okay, actually this they're delicious. Okay, this is the one of that. Let me run this app and then I'll just tell you how it works and what are the things. See, so when I see here in library, we'll be having separate folders are there, right? So main dot is there. Okay. Here I've done all the codes. Okay. And then some data I'm just populating. And then we will be having this. These are the widgets are custom widgets. These are widgets I have created for my own purpose. Okay, so for my application, I have segregated the different screens and I have created a model. So model is nothing but to whenever you are using a database, you will be using this models. Okay, let me run this application and show you how it works. And I'll explain you what are the components, how this has been done. Also, I'll try to show you my real device, how it works. Okay. This will be in a debug mode. Whenever you develop an application, this will be in a debug mode. Okay. I've connected my real device. See, you can see my devices came and two devices connected. See this? Okay. So let me mirror my screen. Otherwise, I'll use X. Try to use Dex now. Okay, this is I have just mirrored my screen. Okay, mobile screen. You will see. I think this build also completed. Let's see that. Okay. This is the application I have installed in my mobile. I'll show you that. So this is the application. Okay. So when I this is a menu here, right? This is some menu. I'm just giving. I can do a filter, and these and all are widgets. This is a widget. Okay, this is a widget. I'll give an example how it works. Okay, so this is a main data. From this main data, I have created a stateful widget. Stateful widget, as I told you, there is no screen updates are there. I'm just displaying something. That is a stateful widget. Okay, here there is a model, and based on that, I have created some model means it's a database. That's a database. Okay, it will connect to the database and it will work. Okay, so and then so from here, the first screen I'll show you. Okay, this is the screen, and I see categories means screen. So in the screen, this is a categories means screen. This is a separate screen. I'm calling this in this this main dot file. Okay, from here it will automatically calls that screen and it will work. Okay, so like that will have. So you may not clearly understand because I may what I do, I'll just create a simple program and I can show it to you maybe later sometime. This is how it will work. Okay, so here I can explain you what are the things things here. So what is the starting point is the main program. So from main program it will create a stateful widget. From this this is a stateful widget. Okay, stateful means it will change the things. Stateless means there is no changes. Okay, so this is a stateful widget. In this stateful widget, there is in this state what they need to do. So it has to call a the starting part of the program will be it's a build. Okay, so this build function initially it will run and it will take up this material app. I told you, right? Material and a Cupertino. Material will be used for common for iOS and this material will be the starting point for your application. So in this material, so you will be having a title called daily means. So in this here you can see. So the title will be daily means. So and then so I'm having a theme data. So there is a theme data is there. So this theme data you can use any whatever the configuration you are doing here, you can use it in your entire application by calling these themes. Okay, so there is a theme data will be there, and then so from here the starting point will be our program will be started. Okay, this is how it will work. So maybe what I'll do, I'll just modify the our new program and I'll show you. It will be easy for you otherwise. Let us first try. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, let's make it simple. Okay, so I don't need this all codes. I'll just remove this one. And on the stateful widget. So this is a static, but as I told you, this is a stateless widget. So this my app will be called here. Here you can see this is my home. This is the starting point of your application. Okay, so this is my home. I have deleted this, so I'm going to create it. So here, what I'm going to do. So this is a scaffold widget. Scaffold widget, as I told you, it will create. So with if I give it a without scaffold widget, there is a widget called. Before that, I'll tell you how it come. I'm having a center widget. In the center widget, I'm creating a child. In child, I'm creating a text. In text, I'm giving it as sample. Okay, this is the program I'm going to do. So I'm going to run this. So the starting point of this returns a widget. That widget, it will display on the screen. Okay, so title will be Flutter demo, and then so in this theme, this theme data will be blue will be the primary swatch, and then home will be in the home. I'm going to give a center and some text. Okay, I'm running this. See how it runs. You see. Then I'll give some add some components, and I'll show you how it works. It will be easy. In Visual Studio, you're having a option that you can format document. So it will gives a neat format. You can see that. You make screen this way, it's easy to see. It's building. Going to install. Okay. Okay. See how this sample came as a some red color, the underline. It's not in a good way, right? So that is why. So this is a default thing. What dot will return. So if you want in a neat format, so for that I'm adding a. When you click here, there's a feature in the Visual Studio. Click here, wrap with a widget. So what is the widget we are going to do? It's scaffold. Okay. So now I am in scaffold. It will the format will be something different. So in scaffold, we need to give a app bar. Title sample app. Okay, this should be text. So everything is a widget. I told you, right? So you have to capture within the widget, and comma, and so child. Okay, here you need to mention body. Scaffold body. Now I'm going to save this application. See, it's in a neat format now. Clear? So this is how you can develop an application. Clear, right? So now we have created application and we have a walkthrough. Right. So we can create your new Dart file and you can import here. You can use it. Okay.
Okay.
Any doubts? So when you walk through it, then only you will get some doubts. Correct.
That's right.
So,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. So I have developing one application. I just want to show you. I'll just tell you what actually it is. Maybe I'll just. I'm still creating this application. This is that other applications and all while learning. The guy who taught me in the video I have developed, but this is application I purely I have developed from the core. I have developed it. So let me show you what actually it does. Just to track your activities. We'll close in 10 minutes. Okay. I'll show this and I'll give you some guides how to take the next step. But I'll tell you. First build will be take some, so we have to be patient for the first build. So once it is built and if it is showing, then you can start the development very easily.
Shiva, Natu here.
Yes.
I have a question. Like, Shiva, so in Android devices, I believe there are multiple devices we have. So I could see some devices are using their own program, right?
Yes.
They are
Yes.
using MIUI.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Similarly, in OnePlus, they are using Oxygen
Yes.
OS or something.
That is launcher. That is a
that,
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, do we need any add-ons to be added for this
No.
developed, or will it
No.
be
No.
integrated?
It will be that is the beauty of Flutter. That's what I told you, right? In the last layer of the it will take care of the things. So when you see here, the last layer, the platform specific, this will automatically take care of the things. You don't need to worry about the things. Flutter will manage that. Okay. Yeah. So this is the application.
Sure.
Yeah. This is the application I have just developed. Is still in progress, but not yet fully completed. Okay. So track our activities. Okay. I'm just adding when I'm just adding, you can take a picture of your notes or something. This is actually track your task. Okay, that's it. I'm adding a task here. So you can take a picture of your notes or something, and then that will be shown here. When you click on that notes, you can zoom and see. So I have just added this is in the app bar. What I have done, there is a back button, and then there is a save button also in the app bar. You can see that. This is a widget. This is a text field widget, and here is a date widget, and this is a slider widget, and there's a drop down widget, and within this additional nodes it's a separate widget, that is I have created my own widget. So and then I have included in this application. Okay, so when you click take picture, it will open a camera, then it will take a picture. Okay, this is a demo, means we will not show it's a sample only, it will come. Okay, so now you can see the picture, right? So when I click on save, so see, I have not introduced here, right? It automatically status is coming. Okay, so when I add one more task, some data date around this, only this. So based on the status, this will automatically refresh. So I'm changing this to priority low, then it will come here automatically. This is the application I'm just doing. So this is still in development, so not yet fully developed. So when I click on here, you can see that. So there is an issue in this image only. When I click on this image, I'm not able to see fully or add or delete. I'm having some issues. I'm working on that. So once it is completed, I'm planning to publish this. This is a sample application. This is also a widget. So when you see this is it's some bar inside. This is an icons. You can have an icon. This is full of a thing. So session is useful, right?
Yeah, Shiva. Shiva, one more thing, like so while developing the app, how I mean, what is the security aspects like? I mean, while checking for the security aspects, how secure can we develop this using Flutter and Trap?
Yeah. So yeah, I know where you are coming from. So inside
using one or by default Flutter will give.
Yes, by default there will be a, yeah. I'll tell you, whenever you go to Android, so when you learn about more about Android application, you will get to know Android and iOS. iOS is already is a secured platform, right? So whenever you build an application, it's a platform level security is there. Okay, so you can control your secured things inside this Gradle file. Okay, sorry. So there will be some files will be there. So you can tell that this application only for particular you can use only the camera. You can only use this accounts that you can manage the security level. You'll be that is an advanced topics are there. So if you want, you can go and learn about that. You can do that. Okay, if you want to secure things, you can go for a Firebase. Firebase will secure the platform. So only authentication person only go and see the data, and you can see that. And you can do the integration with the application level also. You can do a security. Okay, if you don't want to use anyone a camera for this application, you can restrict. Okay, so in Android settings, you can do that. Okay. This Android manifest file, you can give some secure controls here. This is the way that you can do some controls here. So if you don't want to use internet, this application, you can restrict it. Okay, that will have a control. Clear?
Sure, Shiva. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then what could you know about the next step? So you need to learn about list, map, and all. These are the new types, right? So these are the data types like int, char, string. That like that. The most of the way we will be using this list and map. Map has a very powerful type in Dart. So whenever you use a map, you can within the thing you can do a lot of things. So so can you guess how much time it will take to develop this application? This application actually. Can you guess? I've done a lot of things, right? Yeah.
Week?
Huh? Yeah.
A week?
Yeah, week. So maybe when you go with the Android Studio, it let at least take 3 months or 4 months. So this is how the Flutter is. So for example, there are a lot of things I can show you, but I'm not sure you are having a time. One minute. I'll tell you task list. Okay. See here, this is so Flutter future builder. There is a widget is there. So I'm just calling a future builder within a single line, within a single builder. It will automatically talk to the database. It will show. So you will be having a single widget only here, but it will show you as a different the task list, right? It's shown in the application, right? The task list. So this is only one time I have done. This is a task list, I think. Only one time I have called, but it uses a list actually. So I told you, right? List you need to learn, right? So a list and a map. So when using a list, you can create a map, and then you can build. It will automatically talk to database, and it will display as a list here. That's the power of list and map. So you need to learn this when you're using a Flutter. It's a very powerful data sets in the Flutter. Get that into. Also, you need to have more practice into dot concepts using a dot pad. That you need to do. So then only you will easily develop your Flutter applications. Also, I can give a course which I have learned from Udemy application, Udemy. Then so you can enroll yourself and you can learn about this better. Okay. So also you need to get in touch. You need to create your own app. Then only you will get into that. Okay. So this is what I want to share with you. This is the first session. After a long time, I'm doing this.
It was a good session.
Yeah.
Shiva, I think it gave us a very high level
Yeah.
idea on the current recent developments on
Yes.
how quickly we can develop a mobile app. Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
We will definitely catch you on how to link this Visual Studio to Android Studio.
Okay.
Then how to install the extension that you have told. So all these things will ping you.
Sure,
in case if
definitely you
have
can
to.
reach out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there are some steps these to be do for when you go for iOS, but you should need a Mac system. Without that, you can't develop iOS applications.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, but I'm trying to install the Mac OS in my HP laptop. I hope I can do that. So I have tried actually. I have already installed Mac OS in my laptop, and then I have tried to create an iOS application. I have simulated, but I don't have a device to test actually. I'm still exploring.
Good,
Okay.
sir. Fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so
Shiva.
much.
That's a good
Thanks.
session. Yeah.
Thanks
Even
everyone.
it's very new for me. It's I
But
never had such sessions earlier, but this is a very first session for me to.
But it's interesting, right?
And so, thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting and useful. Yeah.
Thank you. I think Deepa is still there. Thanks,
Thank
Deepa.
yeah. Thank you so much, Shiva. It was really interesting thing, but we need to explore more to understand fully and try it out on that.
So maybe if you all interested, I can have one more session in detailed concepts of the stateless, stateful, and I can do a live development of any other application. So I guess I can also do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks
Sure.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much, Shiva. Bye.